Hello friends, let's get into the tutorial to how to make this folio. I am going to take my 4 pieces of 8 1/4 by 8 3/4 sheets that have been scored at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides, and I'm going to do one in slow, and then the rest of them I will do to speed it up just to save time. And we're going to add I'm going to use double-sided tape. If you want to use wet glue, you can, but for this I'm just going to add my score tape on the 3 sides of my scored lines here. And I like using double-sided tape, as many of you already know. As I've explained on many videos, I most likely will use a combo of this and the wet glue, and it just makes it easier for me to have a little bit of wiggle room. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to miter my corners right across diagonally on the score lines here. So right where they cross is what I'm going to cut out. The 2 on the bottom here, these will be my bottom pages. And I'm going to do the same with my other sheets of paper. I'm going to go ahead and fold on my score lines. Sorry, I have the phone set up pretty close to my working hand so that y'all can see what I'm doing here. And just fold on the score lines. And again, I'm going to do this to the remaining of the 3 sheets of cardstock that I've already scored. And we'll get to it. So it's going to look like this. Okay, and the reason I miter corners is to avoid bulk. I want this to be flat. This is going to be a concertina style folio, and I cannot take credit for this folio. It's by a lovely gentleman by the name of Tom Ford, who designs a lot for Graphic 45, and this is who I got the tutorial from. And I really like it because it's simple, it's fast, and it doesn't take a lot of paper, and it's something that's great for your 8 by 8 paper pads. So this is what one looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them in faster motion. And so now you should have 4 sheets with adhesive on it ready to be attached. And we are going to attach these to our 5 pieces. Well, actually, we're going to use floral, and I'll explain that in a second, or in the next video. But one is going to be for each one of the pages. So this is going to be attached to our base page 1. Okay, and so now I'm going to take one of my 7 3/4 by 7 3/4 sheets, and we're going to attach it to this page here, allowing us to have a pocket here. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than you typically see me do. You typically see me use wet glue, but I want to show you, well, I may use a little bit, I'm not quite sure. And I'm just going to peel a little bit off on the ends here. I don't want to pull it all off because I don't want to accidentally stick it down and make a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of wet glue here on the ends. Whoa, that came out a little too fast. Okay. And so it doesn't matter which way you're facing your paper, whatever you have a better view of. So I'm going to stick it on my edge here, edge to edge. I want to make sure that it's on my edges. Okay. And maybe I'll just stand it up. It'll be a little bit easier. Or do one end at a time. But I just want to make sure that it's even on both sides, so that it doesn't overhang. And so once it's even, I can press down and remove this and adhere the rest. And so there's that. So now you have this, and now you can bring a part of it off on this side, tear part of it off on this side, and this side will be much easier to flatten down. And then just lay it over, and then I'm going to pull this off. I'm gonna pull this off. And there you go. Now you have one page here. Okay. And then we'll do the same to the rest of them, and I'll do it in faster motion, and I'll see you in a bit. And so now you should have 4 pocket pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then stay tuned for part 3 of how to assemble these pieces together. Thanks, guys. Bye.